the industry, he has been instrumental in crew management, training, and industry advocacy. His leadership at MASA focuses on enhancing seafarer welfare and promoting excellence in maritime operations. I would like you to put your hands together for Mr. Manesh Pradhan as we invite him to the stage to share a few thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Manesh Pradhan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. It's a very odd session to start with people still busy with the coffee, but I'll still go ahead. So, first of all, I'd like to thank Shaukat for this wonderful honor to be here. It's truly wonderful, and thanks a lot, very well organized. Very, very overwhelmed to meet such a zealous Chief Minister, and Mr. Vegas, I think he's left, or he's here. So the zeal that they have to promote shipping in Goa is really, really heartwarming. And, decisions have been taken very fast. Hopefully we'll see some light at the end of the tunnel. Coming to why I'm really happy to be here is I love the topic, Future Skills Maritime, because it's very apt to look at the future. Many of the seminars we attend is more about procrastinating on what has happened. It's like driving a car with looking at the rear view mirror. So this is really heartening to see that we're talking about future, which definitely is very, very challenging with subjects on diversity, decarbonization, sustainability. I think we have a lot to worry about. But at the same time, it gives us an opportunity, especially as an Indian seafaring community, to come out shining, to get skilled, to get reskilled, upskilled in whatever way that we stand out and deliver to the expectation of our ship owners, to the expectation of the industry as a whole. So when I talk of future, one thing that I have observed, and I could be wrong, but while we are getting very futuristic, I think we must also spare a moment to look back on whether we've got the basics right. With so many youngsters who are going to reach out to sea now, or very soon, I would want to just tell you that first of all, you have to start loving your profession, loving your ship, loving your team on board. Despite so many new rules, new standards in training, I think the biggest set of deficiencies that we get on board a ship during an inspection is to do with your LSA and FFA. It's taken us, God knows how many years to understand that we need to lower the lifeboat in time, we make sure the firefighting equipment is right, and we still haven't got that part right. We've learned how to operate the egg disc, we've learned how to do ME engines, we've learned all the complicated stuff, scrubbers, ballast water treatment plants. But when it comes to our LSA, FFA, I really feel that maybe we take it for granted, that's okay, we can handle that. But trust me, that is what is called emergency preparedness. And that is why every time your ship is in port, there is a team coming, whether it is from the owner side, the manager side, the port state control, the oil majors, everybody's interested in your safety. Why are you not interested, is my question. So when you look ahead at the future, considering that for your NRI time, you do more than 6 months on a ship, it is only important that you treat it as importantly as your home. Just like you maintain your home, just like you take care of it, just like you love it, just like you want it to be the best home in the world. My humble appeal to all you young boys and girls is that please make sure your ship is as good as your home. That should be the beginning of what we start to do from here on. Coming forward, moving on from there, I think my favorite, the 4 C's, for success, for leadership, for good teamwork is, the first C is, of course, your competence. I think everybody, starting from IMEC to to each company, to unions, everybody is trying to help you with getting the good training. But how much of that are you going to absorb into you? Are you paying attention? Are you really doing your best to understand what is being brought forward to you? So please pay attention to your training, because that competence is really key, and that's the one which is going to take you forward. The second C is, of course, about culture. As Indians, we are very proud of our culture, but there's one thing that is a little kind of thing that we can work on, is start to promote a culture of good leadership and better followership. Your time will come when you are going to be the captain or the chief engineer. But today, if you're the cadet or if you're a junior officer, this is your time to follow. Follow well. It's only when you understand what's happening at the grassroots level as a good follower, then only you will make a good leader. The third C is about the cause. You should know why you're out there on a ship. The ship is not just a showpiece. It's commerce. It's business. Millions and millions of dollars are riding on it. It's important you know the entire operational fabric so that you understand why it is important to perform well. Simon Sinek explains this very well, knowing your why. The cause is knowing your why. Unless you don't know why you're there on a ship, unless you don't know why or what you want to excel in, it's not going to propel you forward anymore. And the fourth C, which is something that I recently added, is consistency. I think we all go and do things on a ship, we work, but it only pays dividends when you repeat the good work again and again and again. You go on a watch, you complete it successfully, come back. You must have a successful watch every time you take over. You go to the engine room, you come back out, completing your job successfully and without getting hurt in the bargain. Consistency is the key. Of course, you can argue saying that, we are humans, we do errors. Small bit of errors, yes, we can live with, but, that difference between an error and a violation is something that's very deep and we need probably a lot of time to understand. But please, I think all of us during our training know what's the right thing to do, and we should just be doing that. Be consistent in what you do. It's no point that you make one voyage safely and the next one you run aground. That's not pardonable. And more often than not, when we do the investigations, we come to know that it was outright breach of procedures which led to the accident. So, without boring you too much more, thank you so much for this honor. Thank you for having me, Shaukat. And I wish this conference of 2 days all the success. Thank you so much.
So if you'd be kind enough to continue to be on stage, please. Please be on stage. I'd like to invite Captain Shaukat and also Mrs. H.K. Joshi to please join us on stage to felicitate Mr. Pradhan. And we're doing a felicitation now because he just mentioned to us that he would be leaving us this evening. So, Mrs. H.K. Joshi, please come up on stage and we'll present a memento to Mr. Pradhan. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause, please, for our dignitaries on stage. Thank you, Mr. Pradhan, and thank you, Mrs. H.K. Joshi, for joining us.